Guys, 2019! Will the Samsung Galaxy S9 die this year? In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, including its worst feature. But I'll also be showing you guys why it'll be sticking around. So let's get into the video. Alright, so starting off with what's in the box, just so you guys have some context, this is what you can expect to receive when unboxing the Galaxy S9 Plus. As always, they packaged everything beautifully, but what I really appreciate is all the extras that they include. So of course you've got your adapter and your USB-C cable, some AKG headphones which are amazing, guys, seriously, your SIM and SD card door key, then a micro USB connector, and finally just a normal USB connector. They also included a see-through silicone cover, which is great to get your quick start guide, and of course the device all packaged in this stunning box. Then onto the look and feel of this device. As always, Samsung did an amazing job in my opinion. It doesn't have a notch, although it does have a rather large forehead, if you will, and also a slight chin at the bottom, but those really do not seem to bug me. It just feels great in the hand, and I like the edge screen panel that comes with it. It also has the rounded edges, which again I really like and I think looks super premium. It is, however, a glass front and back, so as you can imagine, it is a fingerprint magnet, which is a little frustrating, but hey, we all mostly put covers and screen protectors on our phones, so it's something that can be overlooked. As you guys can imagine, especially coming from Samsung, the display is absolutely beautiful. It has an edge-to-edge screen and is 6.2 inches. I find during the day, during the night, during whatever time of the day, the screen is perfectly lit and the colors are very vibrant and very saturated, I would say, and I'm sure that is thanks to the Super AMOLED display. This is a pretty big phone, and I suppose they didn't call it the Plus for nothing. So if you're someone who enjoys big screens, then this is going to be perfect for you. Just so that you guys have some context as to the size of this phone, it measures 73.8 millimeters wide and 158.1 millimeters high. It's under 1 centimeter thick, so a very thin phone, and also weighs roughly 189 grams. Then just comparing the size of it to other phones, on the left here we have the Samsung Galaxy S7, and then on the right we've got the iPhone 6 Plus. Ooh, then moving on to the camera, there's a lot to cover here, guys. But starting off, the front-facing camera is 8 megapixels, and then the back cameras, as you see here, are both 12 megapixels, but we've got a wide-angle lens and then also a telephoto lens. There are so many different modes you can choose from panorama to pro, live focus and all the rest. So here I was just playing with the different settings, but what I really like is the live focus. So that mode essentially lets you choose the blurriness of your background and where your subject must be focused on. There's also a food mode to get great food shots. This picture was taken of my little baby at night, so the quality of low light pictures is amazing. And then again, just some other shots I took and edited with the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. The selfie feature also has a bunch of different settings that you can choose from. You can do a wide-angled selfie or a blurred background selfie. Over here you can see these are the ones I took. I'm not overly happy with the quality, but other than that, really awesome options are available. And then another epic feature is the super slow-mo. So once again here you can see it in action. It is a bit pixelated, but that is probably largely because it is shooting at 960 frames a second. So understandably, I think the picture quality dropped slightly because it is taking so many pictures per second. But at the end of the day, it's a really fun feature and it's very fun to see things in slow motion. I mean, if you want to send a slow motion video of chips dropping on a plate to your friends, then give it a try. And then finally, there's also the hyperlapse mode. This was originally only on iPhones and Samsung has now introduced it, which I am so happy about, and it works beautifully, as you can see here. One of the main reasons I keep coming back to Samsung is because of the software and just how user-friendly the device is. It's super simple to operate and is packed with so many amazing features. I know there are so many other smartphones out there that have the same operating system, but I don't know, there's just something about having it on the Samsung that does it for me. Of course, the speed of the phone also makes for an overall amazing experience. One thing I really love is the edge screen menu. It is so customizable and so convenient. You can quickly check the weather or add quick contacts. Another thing you can do that is super epic is create split screen apps. And this is kind of where Android Oreo comes in, which is also pre-installed on the device when you get it. You can run 2 apps simultaneously and choose to pair them with other apps if you want. One-handed mode is also another nifty feature in case you want to operate your phone with one hand and not 2 because the phone is so large. And then you can also access Bixby by swiping left or clicking the Bixby button, and here you can customize app notifications and news if you want. What's also awesome is the Samsung's capacity to have so many apps open at any one point in time. You can toggle through them as you see here, or also change to a list view if you find that easier. There are a few various options and it really comes down to your personal preference at the end of the day. Edge screen notifications are also a hoot. I love the look and feel of this. Moving on to the battery, it has a 3500 mAh battery, but I must admit I feel like it doesn't last as long as I wished it did. I have since put it on power saving mode and that has definitely helped. But comparing the battery to the iPhone X, that only has a 2716 mAh battery, and the Google Pixel 3 XL has a 3430 mAh battery. So the S9 Plus is better than both those premium phones. It charges via USB-C, which means you can flip the charging cable around either way. It doesn't have to go in the port one specific way, just as you see here. It does support fast charging and wireless charging, which is epic, but bear in mind if you're used to a slightly smaller phone, it does take longer to charge this phone because it is bigger and has a bigger battery. So the S9 Plus does have your standard SIM card and SD card slots, but you can choose to change some things around depending on your country, I think, if I'm not mistaken. For example, in the card holder that comes out of the phone, you can either choose to have one SIM card and one SD card. This SD card can hold up to 512 gigs of external memory, which is epic. But if you choose not to have the SD card, you can then have a secondary SIM card. Bearing in mind, this is dependent on which country you come from. However, the SD card may not be relevant to you because the device comes with so much onboard memory already and a lovely 6 gigs of RAM. On to other features, of course, there is the Fingerprint sensor, which is super responsive in my opinion. You literally just tap it and your phone unlocks within seconds. And it's also very secure, as you can imagine. It has 2 speakers on the device, so it has the surround sound effect, and they use Dolby Atmos technology. It's super interesting if you read up about that. And of course, they kept the aux jack. That just makes me so happy. Then there is also the AR emoji. I don't know guys, this is just something I feel like I'd never use, but it's there in case you want. There's not much else I can say about it. And the device is also waterproof. So if you drop it in any water or get splashes on it, fear not, your device will be perfectly fine, a-okay. Then finally, something I always like to include in my reviews is a worst feature. Let's be honest guys, there's no perfect phone out there. And for me, unfortunately, with the S9 Plus, it's Bixby. With so much more AI these days, I feel like there is some intense competition. And with Bixby, it just falls short for me. I thought it was going to be a lot better, but there are just so many commands that Bixby can't seem to follow through with. For example, hi Bixby, open up Spotify.
Looks like I'm not able to do that.
So frustrating. Let's try with Google. Okay Google, open up Spotify.
Opening Spotify.
Amazing. If you enjoyed this video guys, please feel more than welcome to give it a like and subscribe, and also don't forget to check out my other device reviews right over here. You can just click on one of these. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Toodles!